What's up, YouTube? Today I'm here to update my Sea Lancer deck for the final time before the ban list because it's coming out in a few days, but we still have a couple of weeks left of this format, regardless of that. So I went in and I kind of looked at my Lancer deck and I realized it really wasn't working. I had updated it with adding obelisks, adding a BLS, and doing all these fancy techs. And they were great. They worked occasionally, but in the end the deck lost focus, and honestly, when I cut Sea Lancer to 2, I don't think I ever summoned it successfully. Like, I would summon it, would get Veil or Torrential or Warning, and it would never see the light of day again. It was just, when I could make a strong Lancer play, I never had it in my hand. And then when I would, those few times that I did have it, it was just always negated. Unfortunately, it never worked. So, with that being said, I feel like I lost some focus with the deck. And it's time to bring it back to basics, and back to what works, and what worked for me at Philly and pre-Philly, and back, when I finished top 10 at a regional. And with that being said, I have cut the deck down to 40 cards and switched up a lot of stuff. So we're going to start with your Frog engine. So you got 3 swap Frog. 3 swap. It should be 3 dupe, but I lent 1 to a friend and I could not find a third, so I guess technically I'm running 2 dupe and triple poison draw. But it really should be 3 and 2. 3 dupes, 2 poison draw. 2 Ronintoadin, and 1 Treeborn. So basically what I did was I went back in, bumped up the dupe frog count again. And that is because I was not specialing swap frog quite often, as often as I like to. I would open with like swap and a bunch of other types of monsters, non-waters, and it kind of really, in my opinion, slowed the deck down a lot. So I bumped the water count up by 1 there. I also went back, and I'm going to give you the tribute lineup now, and I bumped up the Sea Lancer count back up to 3. I really miss this card. Everyone complains that like they don't like drawing multiple Lancers and whatever. It's really not that bad, because all you have to do is use 1 to its full potential. Therefore, like 2 or 3 equips. Then banish just 1 frog, 1 dupe frog or poison draw, and then summon another Lancer. And you have, with Gotchi, 2 2700 beaters that have to be destroyed more than once. It's really not that bad. And like, he's the boss. It's Sea Lancer frogs for a reason, because he is so hard to get over and you plus so much. So, with that being said, 3 Lancer, 2 Rysas. These are Starfall Rysas that I have. 2 Rysas. The reason I added in some Monarchs, it's been a while since I played them, because of that Gust of Phoenix. It's kind of ridiculous, the fact that you can go summon Ryza, maybe put their only monster on top of their deck or back to their extra deck, summon Gust Phoenix, and attack for 6,300 damage directly when Ryza attacks twice. That is game breaking and deck breaking, in my opinion. The fact that you can have that option. And like I said, the last video I went over a 4-card OTK. There's actually a 3-card OTK. I edited, explained in the description. But I'm going to go over it again in this video, the 3-card version, which is nutty, 3 cards. And it's also just Ryza, the fact that you can control an opponent's draw and just lock them down like that is really great. And part of the reason Ryza has seen the Forbidden Limited list and Caius has not. With Insectors and everything else, and Leviair, Caius only, in my opinion, kind of promotes being OTK'd. Yeah, the burn damage is great, and obviously removal is fantastic. But honestly, I'd rather, if the card I'm putting back on their deck, they weren't able to activate when I summon Ryza, chances are it's something like MST or some type of dead card that they're just going to draw again. So, Ryza is great. I actually dropped Lad to 1, and 1 Obelisk. So instead of running 2 Lad, I'm running 1 and 1, and it's actually working really well. The reason I was keeping Lad at 3 was for BLS, and it just seemed foolish, honestly. Obviously, I dropped the BLS. Lad is great, but I think Lad was part of the problem with the deck, in that nobody was Veiling Lad. No one was like blowing their Velar on that. They were blowing like random MSTs and Forbidden Lances or wherever to get that down to a manageable attack, run it over, and then, you know, deal with me maybe searching with Sangan or Swap Frog, and then beating me down from there because they still had Valors to Velar the Lancer and to just get over everything else. So I dropped that down to 1, and it's still doing what it's supposed to do. I might side 1 or 2, just strictly for like Insectors and things like that. But just running 1 is fine because, you know, once you drop Obelisk as well, you're kind of gonna win. It's like Obelisk is a huge threat. Right. Next we've got our hand traps. I dropped Valor down to 2, which I didn't really want to do, but it was either leave it at 41 with triple Valor or go down to 40, and I'm, you know, decided to test the 40 cards, and it's working really well. It's kind of the card I search with Sangan a lot now, so I really, you know, can't see, aside from the Insector matchup being a little more difficult, the 2 Valors has not really hurt anything. Then you got 1 Gorz, 2 Triconia. Still the same. Then we will call this the Frog Support, which is your triple tour guide Sangan. Nothing new, and my obsession with double card D still in there. And the spell lineup is the same. So you're just going 3 Econs, 3 MST, 2 Salvage, Darkhold, Reborn, Heavy. It's 40 cards now. And I'll show you the extra before I show you quickly this 3-card OTK. 3 Gotchi, 2 Daigusto Phoenix, 2 Shining Elf. I might actually, because I've been summoning Daigusto so much and I really didn't think I would like it, I might cut Shining to 1, Shining Elf to 1. It's still really good in the Rapid matchup in my opinion, and it still has its strong points. Like I feel like Heroes, Shining Elf shines. Pun intended, I guess. But I don't really go into more than 1 and 1, so I think I can cut this down for another rank 3. But for now, I'm running 2, and it's not bad. It gives me another option. 2 Mist, I don't think I'll ever cut this down to 1 like a lot of people suggest. It's just too good. Then you have 1 Leviathan Dragon, 1 Leviair, 1 Giga Brilliant, 1 Zen Mains, 1 Gaia Dragon, the Thunder Charger, and 1 Utopia Ray. So that's the full deck, and now I'm going to show you this 3-card OTK really quickly. So this is what you need in your opening hand. It's pretty simple. You need 1 Swap Frog, 1 Tour Guide from the Underworld, and then either or, one of these 2. Swap Frog or Ronintoadin. Either will work. So you have some leeway there. It will work with Salvage as a 4th card, and maybe not. Maybe like a Poison Draw card or something, like I pointed out earlier. But for 3 cards, those are the 3 cards you will need. And let me quickly show you. So, basically, how I like to start this OTK is by going like this. Summon Tour Guide from the Underworld. The reason I summon Tour Guide normal first, because if they Valor it, you can't OTK. So, I like to just see, alright, can I do this? Yes, I can. Then I will straight up overlay for the OTK master himself, Leviair the Sea Dragon. Then, you're going to special summon Swap. Let's say you open with a Ronintoadin Swap Frog. You're going to special summon Swap Frog, putting Ronintoadin in the graveyard, sending Swap Frog to the graveyard. Simple so far. Banish that Swap Frog you sent to special summon Ronintoadin. Detach a Tour Guide to special summon that Swap Frog. Now you get a free dump. You will be dumping any of your frogs. So let's dump a Dupe Frog to the graveyard. So just sort of keeping track, this is your field. Leviair, swap, swap, Ronintoadin, graveyard is Dupe, Tour Guide from the Underworld. Overlay Ronintoadin and Swap Frog or Daigusto Phoenix. Daigusto Phoenix will detach the Ronintoadin to target Leviair the Sea Dragon, let it attack twice. Then you're going to banish that frog you free dumped for Ronintoadin, and you have Summon Ronintoadin overlaid for your second Diagusto Phoenix. Then you can detach. I would probably detach the Swaprog to target itself. Now Leviair attacks twice, Diagusto attacks twice, Diagusto attacks once, for a total of 8,100 damage. Pretty ridiculous. So there's your 3-card OTK explained kind of via, card, whatever, simulation, if you want to say. Instead of just kind of typing in, you having to follow like I did quickly once I realized, oh wait, there's a 3-card OTK, you don't even need salvage. So anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope you, learned something, and let me know what you think of it's definitely my final update before the ban list, final improvements to the deck before September 1st. So rate, comment, subscribe, click an ad, and I will talk to you all later.